Over the last few years, we've been working with CRT developing the Accessible Mooring Bollard. 18 months or so ago, the first one went in Birmingham on the Icknield Port Loop in CRT's yard.
In that freezing cold day.
Absolutely freezing it was, wasn't it? But that was a very useful exercise in basically proving the concept, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the idea, wasn't it? It was testing the installation, but it was also testing the usage.
Yes. And talking of extremes of temperature, on probably the hottest day of the year, 24th of June 2026, we were in Wolverton, weren't we?
Absolutely stifling, yes.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But there, we were there to witness the first 2 bollards being installed there. 2 out of 5 will be going there. So let's just go over to Wolverton now and catch up with Tracey chatting to Dick about the installation. What do you think about these new bollards then?
All right.
No, I think it's really good. I mean, how many years' work has gone into this?
I think it's about 3 years now, this project.
I think it is, isn't it? And it's fruition.
Yeah.
It's looking really encouraging.
So, I mean, this is the first publicly available accessible mooring bollard.
Yes.
So we've built other ones and actually moored a boat up to it. But today, for the first time, next to nothing here, this boat was the first boat to proper moor up to a proper real steel accessible mooring bollard here at Wolverton, and I think that's
real deal. As in, this is probably how they're going to be.
Well,
subject to the survey.
Well, to be honest with you, this is how these are. I don't see these going anywhere soon.
No,
you know?
Quite. No.
I mean,
but it's the first prototype, isn't it? The first full prototype, and then we're going to have the survey questionnaires.
Yep.
So there's going to be, I guess, signs are going to go up over here somewhere, are they?
Well, there's going to be a sticker's going to go on top.
On the top, yeah.
The sticker's going to go on top, and that's where the QR code for the survey.
To get people to go to the website, which is the AWA website, where the questionnaire is, to fill it in, to tell us what they think.
Splendid.
And then all that information is going to go to the students, and then the students, and I think there's going to be 120
the students at Birmingham Uni.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be so there might be 120 of them working on the project.
Fantastic.
But I don't know. That may or may not be true.
Wow.
We don't know that yet, but it might be a lot. And they will digest that information as well as coming here and doing some structural testing and other sciencey stuff that I don't understand.
So they're going to analyse the results of the survey as well. So I mean, that must be so good for those students to be doing a real world project instead of a hypothetical one. That's really good.
How else you learn it, I've no idea. But it's
brilliant.
That's what's going to happen. So, and
it's just so nice, collaborative thinking.
Yeah, and we shall see. And I think there's a lot we can just having it here and just starting to use it sort of teaches us new stuff, and actually putting it in for the first time was quite an experience as well. And all finally doing the things that we talked about. Oh yeah, we're going to drill a hole.
Yeah.
It sounds so easy when you first talk about it.
Yeah, but the practicality
and then when you actually come here,
it's a very long, very deep hole, isn't it? As well, isn't it?
Well, I couldn't see Australia. I mean,
sure?
It's. I think it was about that deep. What's that? Foot maybe? I don't know.
Was that all? I thought it was deeper than that.
It was very
going down about a metre or something.
Took them a long time.
But then, of course, this is set in solid ground, so when it goes in at Fenny Stratford, that's going to be set into grass, so it'll be a different game altogether, won't it?
Actually, at Fenny Stratford, we're going to have to dig out a bit of a trench of some description. Well, not trench. Dig out a square bit, fill it with concrete, and then put it into that.
So it is still going to be mounted in concrete, but that concrete's going to be in the grass. Good. It's going to show a demonstration of it being pulled.
How will the see it's being
So why was Wolverton chosen?
They had some money. No, this is it. This is it. They had some money to be able to do this.
Isn't it the Milton Keynes Canal Society and the Buckingham Canal Society have
Yeah.
worked together with the money and the skills.
It's actually what's referred to as S106 money. So it's come from a developer.
which is kind of the way we want it to go ongoing, isn't it? Because it's going to be an expensive project to install these across the system.
Yeah.
But
Certainly.
if we can get them sponsored.
Well, exactly. And actually that's where this cover comes into it. This cover bottom, this additional cover piece at the bottom, which is 3D printed, is the bit that makes that perhaps even more likely to be able to get it sponsored.
Because we can have it printed with anything.
Can say
Fred Logs lies here.
Exactly.
Or in memory of, or...
Yeah, so and it being 3D printed actually means that you can just do one-offs.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, so it could be...
Just take 24 hours to print one.
It could be the Red Lion pub and all done in the Red Lion's colours.
Exactly. That's exactly what we need to do.
So we've gone with blue and white because it's CRT colours, but also because blue and white stands out against nature. So therefore, for the likes of me with not much eyesight, it's highly visible. And for anybody bringing their boat in, it's highly visible, so it will stand out against the grass, against the mud, against the gravel. There is no blue in nature, so it will stand out. But if it's going in as a sponsored one, beside a pub or a shop or whatever, it could be anything.
There's no reason it could be... Yeah, and I mean... You know how like some cities, they'll have like a sculpture of an animal?
Yeah.
And they'll get lots of different artists to paint it in lots of different ways, and they'll put that animal throughout.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of the bollard being something like that. That we could
We
say...
could have Elmer the Elephant Bollards.
Well, or just have a different artist do a different design on each one, and, you know, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot that could be done, as well as sort of technical enhancements, you know. So we're still looking at the idea of a solar top to it with a light.
Yes.
There's no reason why we couldn't embed sensors into it that could tell us whether there was tension on the actual bollard itself. So if something was moored there, there's no reason we can't build in like pedestrian counters into it. So there's a radar version of that it would have to be not metal in that point. You'd have to be using like a plastic polymer or something like that. But there's all sorts of things that we could do to sort of move that into a multi-purpose piece that's not just about mooring.
Yeah.
That does other things as well.
Well,
and
it
of
already
course,
does. I mean, that's strong enough to sit on if somebody needs a bit of a rest.
Exactly. We've got the best byproduct ever, right? Because you know you can just actually sit on it, and it's quite comfortable. Let's be honest. And when you're mooring up a boat, sometimes on a day like today, when it's so unbelievably hot, to be honest with you, what you want to do is stop halfway through and sit down anyway.
And especially if you've got mobility problems and getting on and off your boat is not so easy anyway. So you can lean on it. It's high enough to lean on it if you need to.
Honestly, I'm quite happy sitting here. This is not uncomfortable. I reckon you can sit here for an hour. I reckon.
Is it going to be possible to sit on top of the ones with the solar lights on?
Probably not so comfortably, and that would certainly prevent the solar benefits.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because the light don't shine there.
Yeah. Well, okay. Some people would be able to power it, obviously. But you know, I think it's you know, have a sit. Have you had a sit?
I will have a sit.
It's not uncomfortable.
Actually, that's not bad. Even for a short ass like me, that's not bad.
Exactly.
That's quite a decent
In fact,
height.
I believe the shorter you are, the more comfortable it is.
To a degree, but you wouldn't want to be sitting with your legs dangling.
Well, there's only so much so.
But that's not bad. I mean, for a couple of minutes rest, if you've had enough walking for a few minutes, that's quite valuable. So that's going to benefit towpath users just as much as boaters.
I think we should talk about that more, actually.
Yeah.
I think we should talk. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because people do ask us to, as a leaning post. Yeah, you know what? That is actually, as an accessibility benefit, that's actually probably one of the biggest ones we're doing here. We're creating a place that people can have a little bit of a rest on.
Yeah.
That's
lean on if they need to while they're getting on and off their boat. Make the mooring of the boat easier, but also
just for
towpath users.
Yeah. It's a place to have a quick rest.
Somewhere to have a quick rest, but also for the likes of me, that is much more visible than a mooring ring. So I've got a little bit of eyesight. I can see that. I trip over the mooring rings, but equally using a white cane, if you just happen to sweep the cane the wrong way as you're going past a mooring ring, you're not going to catch it. Whereas that, you're going to catch it sideways. So even actually, that's so coming up. if I don't catch it at the bottom, I catch it on the next sweep, so I know it's there.
Yeah.
Whereas with the mooring ring, sweep it and miss it and trip over it. So
I mean,
yeah,
all
I
of
think
this,
that's
all of this boils down to the simple fact that this place was never ever designed for the way that it's used today.
no.
And the reality is, the harsh, horrible reality is that when this place was built, we would never have been here.
No.
It would have been,
behind locked doors.
there would have been
allowed out.
exactly, yeah, exactly. You know, that's the truth of it.
Yeah.
And it was, so we have to do things like this to sort of bring it up to the way we use canals today.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
this, and it's,
And it kind of fits with the government initiatives of, which is also the Making Life Better by Water. It's about the health and well-being side of being by water, by the canals, people getting out walking and exercising along the towpaths, mental health side of stuff, but equally, like from the CRT census in 2022, we discovered that there are a lot more people, a much higher percentage of people using boats that identify as having a disability than there are in the rest of the population, and it was quite a significant difference, wasn't it?
and they are older
So-
than the
and
population
people are
as well.
older. Yeah, we're all getting older. So, yeah, so hopefully it will actually prolong the boatability bit of life for a lot of people. I think it will for us. And also make it better for a lot of people just using the towpaths for whatever reason. So yeah, really good. Really good. It's exciting.
Right, so I think that was quite an interesting conversation you had with Dick there, wasn't it?
As ever, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're as bad as each other when you get going, aren't you?
It's called a sense of humour.
Yes.
It's great. Yeah, it is great. I mean, Dick has been brilliant to work with on this project, hasn't he? He's so enthusiastic.
He has, yeah.
And you know, it's been a real labour of love between all of us, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Developing this thing, and this is actually so exciting to see it finally coming to fruition and being put properly into action. So yeah, I think the interview there with Kevin was really valuable because he is a real-time boater with a genuine need and genuine, you know, sort of input into this project. So it was brilliant that he came along on the day, and you know, and his input is actually truly valuable, truly valuable.
Yeah, so he was interviewed by Alex from the Canal and River Trust. Let's go over to see what they had to say for each other.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bates, the Harbour Master of the local boating club Lion Hearts, and I'm here today as a single boater to practice with the new moorings.
And you've obviously had a couple of practices today. What's your initial thoughts on the ease with which you've been able to operate as a single-handed boater?
My initial thoughts before I'd seen them, I'm thinking what a fab idea this might be. Having missed it twice on my first go, I really like it. They work really well. They're easy to use and they're easy to undo when you want to go again. I like them very much.
And as well as operating as a single-handed boater, you've got a particular interest in accessibility in the waterways. Can you tell us something about that?
My wife has very limited mobility, so there's a fear of getting off the boat and leaving her on it. There's also a fear of taking a long time to tie up, bend down on concrete, ruin my knees, and then we're stuck there for the next 3 years. So easy to undo, easy to do up, will make our lives so much better.
And do you think there's even potential that she can assist you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. All you need to do is the moorings point upwards, throw the rope round, give the rope to her on the boat, and she can hold the boat, pull it in, keep it in the right place, while I go and do the other end or the middle rope.
And so do you see this, if this is extended to other parts of the waterways, what will this mean to your cruising?
Oh, it would make my cruising so much easier. More places to stop. Easier stopping and starting. If it's near supermarkets, that would be great. But anywhere near a lock would make a world of difference.
Right, so that's Kevin's input on that. We also have another disabled boater there, Claire Cavender, who didn't have a boat there this time, but she was there with a wheelchair and she's been very closely involved in the project, hasn't she?
She has, yeah, very much so, and really valuable input.
Yeah, so let's go and hear her perspective on it.
So I'm Claire, I'm a disabled boater, a volunteer for CRT and a volunteer for the Buckingham Canal Society. And these bollards make things so much easier to moor because of the height of them and to get things on and off. But they're great not only for disabled boaters like myself, but also they'll make things so much easier single-handed boating with hidden disabilities and everything like that, because the arms just make it so much easier to latch onto and you've not got to bend down as much.
So yeah, can you tell me a little bit more about that, the why? I'm guessing the height of them is
the height of them, but also the width of them, and means, but also these arms. These arms are great because normally a bollard is just this top bit, but these arms means you haven't got to worry so much about knots up here. You can just latch them straight on using a hitch.
And what role have you played in the development of
So I have played with prototypes of these and the early models with the arms facing the other ways, as well as I was present when these were installed. So I know that this is not going anywhere.
And just finally, can you offer any advice in terms of how people might play a part themselves in developing these designs? I know we've got a survey. If you could maybe say something around, advising people to participate.
First of all, look at them, feel them, touch them, get to know them, and use them first of all, and then feed back on them.
And just finally, what is your ambition for this project?
That there will be more of these available in suitable places so that there are more opportunities to be able to moor up.
Yeah, so Claire's experience there is invaluable because she is a solo boater a lot of the time, and I'm sure she'll forgive me for explaining that she's a part-time wheelchair user, so she can walk short distances, but she relies on her wheelchair quite a lot. And I think she has good days and bad days. So her experience is from, both perspectives really, of both as a wheelchair user and ambulatory, but obviously with limited mobility. So I think, it's been brilliant working with her, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And thank you, Claire.
Yeah, and of course you know all about good days and bad days, both with your eyesight and with your fibromyalgia.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
And obviously not to be outdone, Alex caught up with you, and we'll close off with his little chat with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi there. So I'm Tracey Clarke. I'm with my husband Tim, we're the founder directors of the Accessible Waterways Association. So we've kind of been part of the team driving this project with the Accessible Mooring Bollard, and this is the culmination of 3 years or so of hard work, I think it's been. Of talking about it and developing it, and it's brilliant to see it actually now being installed.
Can you tell me something about the challenges that cruising on the canal network has for someone who's visually impaired?
Okay, yeah. So Tim and I, between us, we make the set. So Tim has a hearing impairment, and I have very, very little eyesight. So I've got basically 2% of a normal field of vision, just one eye. So just a pinhole. So on a good eyes day, that pinhole's reasonably clear, but on a bad eyes day, it's like looking at the world through that canal water, and it's pretty grim. So I struggle from that perspective. Obviously I'm using a white cane. I do have Loki, my guide dog, who's not working today because it's too hot for him, but kind of going along the towpath, obviously it's a rugged environment, and I tend to walk the towpath, so I can't skip at the boat for obvious reasons. Tim does that. So, but yeah, I mean, I quite regularly trip over mooring rings because I can't see them. And these new mooring bollards I think they're going to be brilliant because they're so much more visible. They're higher, they stand out against nature because they're blue and white. And that colour scheme has been very carefully chosen with the idea that blue doesn't occur in nature. So no matter what the background, that blue and white will stand out. and that's part of the idea of it. But for me, as I'm walking along, if I'm using my cane, I'm sweeping it from side to side. It's very easy. If the mooring ring is that side and I sweep that way, I will miss the mooring ring. So I don't know that it's there, so I'll quite easily trip over it. Whereas with that bollard, because it's up that much higher, if I miss it on the first sweep, I'll catch it on the next one because it will still catch higher up the cane. So hopefully it should be a lot safer for the likes of me doing that kind of thing. But I kind of feel also it's just the fact that it is higher and it's bigger, it's going to stand out more. The concept of the prototypes with the lighting on the top of them is brilliant, and I think we're really looking forward to seeing that being done in Fenny, and that'll be really exciting to see how that goes and how that works, because obviously that will make the towpath safer at night time for anybody that's got poor vision, and poor nighttime vision occurs to a lot of people, not just somebody with an actual registered vision impairment. So that's really good. But I also think it's going to be helpful to a lot of other towpath users because it's high enough that you can lean on it and you can sit on it. So somebody who's, for instance, their balance is perhaps not so good, they can just lean on it for a moment to steady themselves, or somebody that's walking along the towpath and has got a bit tired, they can perch on it for a little while, and it's not that uncomfortable to sit on either. It's not bad. So it could open up the scope for quite a lot of people that would otherwise perhaps be reluctant to visit the towpath because it's a long straight route where there's no seats necessarily, so it might enable them to perch on it. So it's not just for boaters, it's going to be for other towpath users as well, hopefully.
Do you, finally, have you got any advice to people who either are currently boaters who have accessibility needs or who have never thought that the canals were for them, how they can both get involved with this project or how they might better use the network?
I think the general kind of mindset that boating is not for disabled people has already to a degree been blown out. I think that's largely the census that CRT ran in 2022, I think it was, which actually revealed that there was a much higher percentage of people on boats who identify as having a disability than there is in the rest of general society. And it was a significant difference. It was something like, I think the Office for National Statistics says it's 24-25% of people identify as having a disability, whereas CRT found I think it was in the region of the mid-30s percentage. So to a degree that's already been blown out. But of course it's not just about actual disabilities, labelled disabilities. It's about the ageing population. It's about parents with children. It's about people who have broken a limb or hurt their back, temporary issues as well. It's also about boaters who have got wheeled things, which we all use wheeled things, whether it's a toilet cassette, whether it's a wheelbarrow, whether it's a shopping trolley, a bike. The accessibility of the towpaths applies to everybody. So that's partly what we as the AWA are trying to drive. Is that it's applicable to everybody equally, and if the towpath is made more accessible for a disabled person, it's making it better for absolutely everybody. I've kind of coined the phrase in the past, 1,000 ramps disables nobody, but one step can disable thousands or exclude thousands, and that's part of it as well. So obviously these bollards have got to be put in places where they're going to be useful, because there's no point being able to get off your boat and then not get anywhere because there's steps in the way or there's just nowhere to get to. So the placing of them has got to be carefully thought about. But yeah, I think it's going to open up the world for disabled people, and I think it's going to show that Canal and River Trust are actually taking the subject seriously as well, and I think that's really important. I think it's part of showing that the Trust cares. And it's taking the whole subject seriously. So that's really good in that sense. Now to actually support us in getting these rolled out, the best thing we can suggest is have a look on the AWA website, which is awa-uk.org.uk. join us as a member. You don't have to be disabled to be a member. There is availability for everybody as members. And support us in the work that we're trying to do to drive this project, and many others as well, to make life better for people on the waterways in every way, whether disabled or not.
Right, so there we have it. That was a wonderful day. I mean, obviously, Tracey was chatting with Dick and then getting interviewed by Alex, so a few bits got duplicated there, but we thought it best to leave them in because the context was slightly different.
Yeah.
And equally useful, and of course it just reiterates the points, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And in a slightly different perspective as well. But I guess we should probably also explain that was meant to be a press day. So we had promises from various members of the big press, so TV channels and newspapers were supposed to be coming along, which is why we still went ahead with it, even on such a phenomenally hot day. I mean, in reality, we probably shouldn't have done it because it was just so phenomenally hot. But of course, we were very careful to make sure that everybody stayed in the shade as much as possible. We all had loads of water to drink, and we had the gazebo put up to give us all shade. And the dogs were wearing cooling coats and cooling bandanas, which we kept regularly re-wetting in case anybody's concerned about their welfare. They were absolutely fine. And actually, the luxury was travelling on air-conditioned trains as well, so that was actually bliss. So yeah, please be assured that the welfare of our dogs comes absolutely top priority. But yeah, as I say, that was meant to be a press day, but the press didn't turn up. So we did it ourselves basically. But Alex, I think, is a press man for CRT, so he was really good. So thanks to Alex for doing that. And he prompted some really good conversations. Otherwise, we just did it ourselves basically.
Yes.
We're hoping that perhaps the fact that the press didn't turn up to this particular occasion, that they might then turn up when we do the sort of the sister installation, as it were, at Fen Stratford, which is upcoming hopefully fairly soon, isn't it? Hopefully. And that's going to be a slightly different concept because the bollards there will be installed in a grass verge area, not into a solid concrete. So that's another deliberate ploy, is testing the two different environments to see what works best and how it works. But I think really we just finish off by encouraging you, if you are travelling up or down the Grand Union Canal and you're likely to stop in the area, or if you possibly can stop in the area, those bollards are in Wolverton, right by the bridge by Tesco's and outside the block of flats.
Yeah, and as you can hear, very close to the railway.
Very, very close to the railway, yes. Yeah, we had to stop conversation many times there. But we would really encourage you, whether you're a disabled boater or not, if you're fully strapping, fit and capable, or if you have a disability, whatever you are, please stop by, give them a try, and follow the link to the website that will be on a sort of a sticker thing on the top of each of them. And please give us your feedback, because it is truly valuable.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.